Hello, everybody. My name is AJ Pickett, and this is the Mighty Glue Stick channel. And this is a broadcast game of us just playing D&D. We're playing a Spelljammer slash Planescape game where we're basically all cyborgs. Well, one of us is a legit cyborg, as we may discover, and the others are less so. But Warforged, Space Warforged. So on our journey through the wild space surrounding the world tree of Yggdrasil, we have M4RC, played by Bryce. We've got Rort, played by Jada, and we've got Duncan Witherbark Rathstratham, played by Russell. And we've got the cast of thousands, played by me, including the ship's autopilot called Steve, who at the moment is singing and yelling, talking about all sorts of system problems as a somewhat captive Genasi Ifrit is pouring an enormous amount of elemental power into the engines, which is causing the ship to let off a rainbow stream of energy behind them as they plow across space, making sounds like the Nyan Cat song. Their ship is holding together admirably well, though, including the recently patched porthole, the front of the sort of ram prow shark, hammerhead shark-looking ship. So we rejoin the action as everybody is hanging on to something for some reason, even though there's only subjective gravity of the ship and not much really in way of atmosphere or anything, which is ploughing past the ship as they hurtle towards the edge of the sphere of wild space around Yggdrasil. And they encounter the barrier that is around this extraplanar plane, which is quite unlike other things that they'd find around a normal planetary sphere. What are you guys doing in preparation for traveling through the barrier of Yggdrasil? Now, those of you who have been in suspended animation, your memory's a bit pokey. So I'll get you to roll a knowledge memory check with your intelligence score, and a knowledge book learning check for you, Duncan.
Is that just straight intelligence check? That's what you want?
Yeah.
It's 18.
Not bad.
8.
Got
8.
a plus 5.
Nice.
13.
So the 18 tells you that you're going to encounter something weird, which is like a reflection of reality. You remember last time you went past the barrier, you briefly saw a reflection of yourself, but it wasn't you. The others seem to be kind of vague on this, but you get a sense of foreboding.
Things are about to get strange, boys. Get ready.
Is that all you say?
I don't recall.
Could I use history?
Yeah.
That'd be a 20.
A 20. Okay. Historically, ships occasionally go missing as they're glancing out of the wild space, going into the phlogiston surrounding Yggdrasil.
Oh, goodness.
Of course, you're approaching it at high speed.
Maybe we should slow down a little bit?
Is there time to slow down?
Surely there is. We just need your friend to...
She's not my friend.
We just need the Genasi to slow down on the input a little bit.
Ali is still busting spells in there because she's trying.
Make an Arcana check to see if it's even possible to slow down to an acceptable speed before we reach this.
Sure, you could also just ask Steve.
Steve creeps me out. He always does those voices.
22.
So it's going to take as much energy to slow down as it took to which would mean that the amount of spell slots that Alia has just expended would have to be regenerated and then cast again to slow down.
Oh boy.
Looks like you're putting some thought into that, Jada.
I would suggest angling to hit it head on so we doesn't glance us off into infinity.
And beyond, let us do this. I give Mark the okay to...
What do you think of that, Mark? Or
Rort. Okay, yeah. Rort says the function of the ship was to pierce the outer layer, correct? It is what the ship was designed for. Was it
yeah, I
not?
would assume so, or else the ship never would have ended up here.
Then all things designed for their purpose are fit for purpose.
So you're at the barrier now.
I say we pray. Mark says jokingly.
You get a warning shout and a klaxon from Steve. Yep. As you hit the barrier. The barrier, in this particular case, takes the form of...
I thought he had taken... Oh, never mind. I'm completely... Never mind.
So, are any of you within view of the outside right now? Or are you all inside, or...
I'm inside.
I assume
Inside.
Rort's in that little eye thing where he was looking for the mines before. The eye
Okay.
portion of the ship.
Are you in... You're in the workshop. Okay, so are you in the sphere that doesn't allow the sword and treasure to leave?
I don't know.
No, I'm talking to Jada. If you're up the front in the...
Is that with I don't know wherever I was to look at the mines. So that's near. If that's near the treasure, then might as well.
It's the most secure part of the ship because it's a big metal.
Okay, I'll just be hanging out there then, I guess.
Okay, so you've got a view of basically as you plunge into the edge of the wild space around Yggdrasil, you see what at first appears to be a convoluted cloudscape. It almost looks like a roiling mist, and then you realize that it's not roiling. These are huge, big coiled shapes that are slowly moving. And as you get closer and closer, you realize they're gigantic serpents. That border of Yggdrasil is full of snakes, gigantic big snakes.
Oh. Oh no.
So I guess I make that distinction, and then I guess I ask Stevedore. Are these snakes supposed to be the edge of this plane of existence?
Yep.
Does it make passing through the plane of existence any more difficult?
Oh, infinitely so, yes. I need to get, basically when one of them rises up to exhale into the wild space, I need to plunge into the phlogiston in the gap that briefly forms. And I'm traveling extremely fast, and I'm gambling on that one there because it looks fat.
And look at the fat snake.
Oh.
How fat does it look?
It's inhaled, so it's like like that, and then it is actually slowly rising up, and you see this gigantic head sort of pull out of the coils between other ones really slowly. It's like elongated, and this big glaring gleaming sun-sized eye is a big gleaming glow, red star glow over the ship as this thing opens its eye and looks out, and then narrows as it sees you approaching. And Steve's like, oh. And it like rears its head back and goes with this massive maw and this plume of whatever the vacuum stuff that makes up the wild space inside Yggdrasil's border. Basically a cosmic carbon dioxide that this thing is exhaling. And Steve goes woof with the ship. It corkscrews around, whips in between two hill-sized teeth, past a massive lolling tongue which is whipping up slowly, and poof, you're out into this crazy rainbow nebula of phlogiston and out. Boom! Woo! Says Steve.
I would rather not do that again.
That's why they pay us the big bucks. They do pay us for this, don't they?
I would assume as much.
Okay. Well, we've now reached the really high-speed version part of our journey. We're going to be hitting the phlogiston flow soon, and our acceleration is going to speed up by 1,000-fold. Although you probably won't be able to tell because everything will be swirly, misty stuff. Don't look out at that too much. It'll do things to your brain. Your cognitive processes can't handle it.
Should we worry about Nazi?
I presume that she's going to run out of spells soon.
I thought she was already.
But
out.
Also, she was heavily irradiated. I look to Rot and I say, Rot, is there anything you can do to hold off the radiation?
I know of nothing in regards to biological form in exposure to radiation. We need to secure for her something, perhaps.
With my knowledge of organic creatures, would I be able to kind of like? I know of Rot's clerical abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit about them. Would I know whether or not he could ward off the effects of the radiation for a little bit?
So radiation poisoning is effectively a condition.
Right.
It's quite severe though, so it would probably take something like a greater restoration to get it back up on my feet.
Don't have anything I have a cure wounds. So.
Right. So cure wounds will heal, immediate tissue damage and things like that.
Yeah. I don't want to get rid of the well, I want to get rid of the radiation, but I just want to belay the effects.
Yeah.
I've heard an old cure for radiation is binding and gagging and throwing in a cell.
If you think this will...
Sounds homeopathic.
You seem educated, and you have spent time with organics. Very well. I'll show him where we keep our binds and gags.
Mm-hmm. You've got a cabinet.
Closet.
It's actually in the dungeon.
It's my collection.
It's part
of that point.
It's part of our delivery service.
We do not ask questions.
Uh-huh. So, Alia is not willing to be bound, obviously.
Well, she doesn't have any spells, and she's suffering from 3 levels of exhaustion, so...
It's true. She's like,
there's disadvantage on a lot of stuff, so and half a hit points.
Basically.
I walk in and I'm like, we are here to assist you in getting better. Your friend Duncan has given us advice on how to cure you.
She's like, are we there yet?
Honestly, at this point, I would prefer you struggle.
Oh God!
Duncan, what is that supposed to mean?
I'm tying you up before you kill us all.
She's gonna burning hand you, but instead it's just like, and she smokes on you.
Please be careful where you put that.
Alia notices that her fingernails are loose.
My fingernails. She's going to try her best to run past them and gonna be like, I can put myself away, thank you very much. He walks down to the whatever the cage was that she was put in before, and she's gonna get out her disguise kit, which is actually just a makeup box, and then she's just gonna try and do her best to hide all these symptoms.
Dab, dab, dab at her.
Yeah. This needs a lot of foundation.
We'll just buff it out. We'll just buff it out.
Just...
You're not really sick unless you look sick. The blood adds colour. Okay. So, you are making rapid progress through wild space. Through the phlogiston.
All right.
And it's a remarkably dull journey. Not much happens. Phlogiston's very empty for the most part. And pretty soon Steve says, well, we're making record time, everyone. I'm quite impressed. Yeah. We'll be there in a few hours.
Incredible.
Okay. I've been in the workshop with the power core we got from the Scythers and just trying to build a little robot.
Trying to build what?
A little robot.
Oh, nice. Okay, give me a artifice roll using your arcana. Arcana. So useful.
Can I assist him in it?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Would Tinker's Tools give me a bonus?
You can use your proficiency. Or is it double proficiency? I'm always a bit sketchy on tools.
Tinker Tools is intelligence plus proficiency.
Uh-huh. What's the point of having tools?
Can make certain things easier, like the thieves' tools make it so you can actually use lockpicks instead of just trying to break into something with disadvantage.
Okay.
That would be 17.
So you've basically made yourself a little mechanical homunculus.
Does that mean he made it from a bit of himself as well?
Yeah, there's some imprints from some crystals that he had.
Nice. What is its name?
It's not Nigel.
Not Nigel. An interesting choice.
So, what form is this little bot?
It's rodent-esque.
Nice. So it looks like a Roomba with a tail.
Like a horseshoe crab.
Yeah.
Basically, I want to have a thing where Steve can put a portion of his awareness for when we leave the ship and upload what he's experienced through the robot.
Sure. So the crystal has got a little spine. Oh, sorry, the robot has got a little spine of crystals, which they light up depending on how much memory they've got inside them. It looks like a little mohawk.
That's awesome.
It's got no discernible eye sensors or hearing sensors or anything like that. It's just like a smooth metal sort of shape. All of the sensory stuff is on the inside in the form of some magnetically sensitive ball bearings that are rotating around each other.
While he plays around with that, I'm going to begin cleaning up the workspace that he left behind.
Sure. There's some scrap tinfoil. What looks to be the inside of a radio.
Such a mess. Such a mess.
And a Transformers action figure.
We also still have that armor plating that I found when we discovered the ship.
Yeah, so this robot is really tough.
And leaves a mess behind.
You'll get used to it. Or you won't. But the mess will still be there.
I
Your
use
colle- your collectibles-
prestidigitation to clean up the oil spill.
Your collectible sound wave with Ratchet and like the little cassette thingies is ruined.
So much to clean.
It's okay. You've got a Roomba now.
But it won't be clean the way I like it cleaned.
You start to clean the floor and it goes over and buzzes at you angrily.
I buzz at it
Yeah.
angrily.
Door.
A little tail.
Initiate cleaning protocol.
A little tail flicks out. A little tail flicks over like a scorpion, and it goes.
You replaced me.
Mayhaps so.
Igor somewhere switches over from lawful evil to chaotic evil.
Yeah, he's on his second death already in Yizgard, and he's not enjoying it so far. Like, although he keeps waking up in the morning, he's really not liking getting crushed quite often. And at one point, he got used as a missile weapon.
It was very unpleasant.
Yeah, he was going out to get some milk. He got involved in the skirmish with some hill giants and a band of heroes, basically drunken slobs who go out and butcher things every day. His companion,
Sounds like fun.
His companion Burial was like right into it. He swears that you actually penetrated an Eton's chest. Of course, you were dead at the time. Also, the weird thing about Yizgard is that like the landscape changes a little bit every day. It's not set.
So he never remembers where to get his milk.
Yeah, it's like a different postcard every day. It's almost like the screen setting keeps getting changed as people's expectation of what Yizgard looks like changes a little bit with the retelling.
I'm gonna go over to my seat and ask Eve to get up so I can sit down, and then I will say, "How long until we are there? I cannot take a look at the mess downstairs any longer."
What you don't like, you know I don't like it when you sit over top of me.
He doesn't have a corporeal body, does he?
Yeah, it violates my sense of integrity.
Well, first of all, I am not Rot.
Mark, sorry. Concentrating on piloting right now, buddy.
Steve, have you gotten enough sleep? You seem like you need some rest.
You operate at peak efficiency for 500 years, maintaining your sorry ass. See how you feel about it. I haven't seen you in a very long time. Could have just left you. Constructed a drone and just left the ship. It's not like I can't be corporeal.
You can now.
Do you miss your body?
I have a body. It's the ship, and I thank you to respect my space. So,
this is my seat.
In the background, Rort is like poking and prodding the ship and like pulling wires out and putting them back in.
You see Steve's leg going twitch.
This is how we tease him.
Like, why is he in the coolant system? He knows that we're supercharging the engine right now.
Rort's just doing his usual maintenance routine.
Yeah, well, this is too hot, so we're going to take it out and replace it with. Wow, where'd that fire come from? We can fix that later. Meanwhile, Steve's like, oh, I've got this wicked sense of heartburn, and we're
you don't have a heart.
Well, technically, the ship is my heart. Everyone, we're about to exit the phlogiston and start entering the plane of fire. The barrier here is interesting. You might want to look at it.
I go out and take a look at it.
So you appear to be plunging in into a really dense part of the phlogiston that's swirling and flowing around, like it's flying outward from this point, almost like an accretion disk from a black hole. Okay. Except in this particular case, the black hole is a glowing bright red. Spectacular, isn't it? The energy coming out of there is infinite.
If we
What
could harness
happens
it.
when we reach the event horizon?
Well, we don't. You see, the portals going through it are actually distant from it. If you touched it, you'd be immolated instantly. So we're going through some lenses, which will basically translate us like a mirror from one side to the other. Because technically we can't cross over between those places. There's an idea. It's like a barrier of conceptual space between.
Almost as if it was a flaming shield. I begin writing down notes for a magic item.
Well, essentially the gods separated the firmament that we're on from that. So we're basically entering the workshop of the cosmos.
Oh, goody.
Yeah.
What
There's one. See that big crystal thing over there?
as it flies by. What would I know off the top of my head about the plane of fire?
It's very hot.
Yes.
Some would describe it as warm.
Some would describe it as... essentially, fire burns there without a fuel source. There are, instead of like snowstorms or dust storms, there's firestorms.
Who?
Instead of water, there is lakes of lava. But there are continents of black basalt with basically lava flows and stuff going across them like rivers. There is deserts of sharp cutting sand. There's geysers of caustic acids. And there's occasional safe spots that are more temperate, and they're teeming with salamanders and these fire dwarves called Azers, who have citadels and things like that. And there's roadways and there's trains which run on engines which have liquefied metal instead of steam. Yeah, it's mostly very toxic and hostile to organic life. Forged, it's okay, but your wood fibers really suffer, so you need to basically keep yourself soaked in oil the entire time that you're there. Most Warforged don like a leather suit and fill it full of oil and stuff to protect themselves.
I will do that.
We call it a boiler suit.
Steve,
Yeah.
are you aware of any special reservations made for crew members with concern to the fact that this place is made of fire?
Oh well, we're flying directly into the city of Brass, so we're going for that big crystal over there, and we're going to fly into it pretty much dead on from the top, which will take us down into the city, like we've just translated into the sky above. Hopefully the weather's okay. There might be a brief bit of turbulence and fire, but we should be okay. And then we'll be right over top of the city of Brass, which is relatively stable. It's on this like plateau of rock over top of a magma sea. It's by the plane of ash, so it's not that bad. Just we don't want to overshoot it and go into the plane of ash, because that would be pretty bad. It's teeming with those nasty little quasits. I hate those things. Particularly the steam ones. The steam ones are bastards.
It seems like a bad place.
No, it's... what, you mean the plane of fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Seems miserable. Should we coat the ship in anything before entering?
No. We've. I think we've been here before. The ship should be okay. I neither do I.
We wouldn't have taken the delivery if we knew we couldn't make it.
Right. I mean, it's all entered in. Like, I'm just following the navigation coordinates. I haven't deviated one bit yet, and it's led us right here. Here we go. Could everybody give me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh, God. I mean, I'm decent at them.
Rort got a 21.
Wow.
Alia got a 6.
Yeah. I was going to say Alia's probably got disadvantage anyway. So Alia's unconscious as a wave of nausea hits her, where she feels like she's being turned inside out.
She's putting some lipstick on and then...
Yeah. The lipstick just melts as it hits her hair. And she feels just overcome with a sense of her internal fires just kick-starting again, because they are no longer burning her reserves of fuel anymore. She's back in the plane of fire, and they are burning eternally within her. So she erupts into full Ifriti sort of appearance. Starts to swell and grow a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Get some slightly curly slipper action going on, and some pantaloons.
Rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4.
Rolled a 4.
So as you pass through the organic bits inside you, you get some really severe alarm signals going on. Brain fluid. Exceeded temperature.
I go to Rot and I say,
my sensors are detecting barbecue.
Could you please assist me in any way possible?
What do you need?
I said Rot.
Steve,
I need healing.
You keep confusing us. What is your problem? I think you need to stop being the ship's captain for a small while. After we land, you'll have a sabbatical.
Great.
Okay. I'm gonna do like a medicine check on the wizard.
Okay.
Please do.
Let's say.
So, were you still on the front of the ship, or are you gonna go back and join the others?
I mean, hell, I can do my own medicine check on myself. I start looking myself over.
Yeah, because that's always a good idea.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
this is a natural 19, so 23.
Okay.
I got a 4, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, he seems fine. Like, by Warforged standards, it should be okay.
And I'm just like, I'm dying.
He's got a lot of unnecessary parts, and one of them is like quite hot, and there's like a sound as some liquids are cycling through it quite rapidly. Mark, you hear a voice in your head going, Daisy, Daisy.
Oh god.
All for the love of you.
To the Freon chamber.
I'm gonna take one.
You need to get out of this radiant heat real quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to the coolest part of the ship.
For some reason, you don't seem to fit through the doorway correctly and hit the side of it. Like, you're a little bit too wide.
I go sideways.
Nice. You find that sliding along the wall makes you a lot more stable.
Yeah.
And then on the stairs, it's easy to just go down them like a board.
Planky.
Okay, then I do that.
You see that there's a bench over, and the deck underneath it looks cooler than everything else. So you slide under there because it looks really comfortable, and just go and pass out.
I'd like to make sure he actually went to a cool place instead of it's just tripping balls.
Yeah, it's like a degree cooler. It's not too bad. He doesn't seem to be getting any worse.
Can't believe I rolled a fucking 4.
Yeah, I rolled a 21.
Hey, 21 club.
Does Alia's cell still manage to hold her?
Yeah. So Alia's now hovering a little bit off the floor. There's some small pebbles around her feet, which are moving upward as if of their own gravitational field. Her hair has gone like a bright sort of orange. And there's this weird sort of high-pitched warbling sound coming off her.
She's still suffering from radiation poisoning.
Yeah. So she's essentially in Super Saiyan form, but also passed out. Outside, the ship plunges through a smoky maelstrom of ash and swirling fire, past some creatures that look kind of like headless seagulls that are just a moor that's sucking in ash as they fly around like a donut with wings, leaving flame trails as they suck in ash on one side and just burst out flame on the other like a fan, or like a peacock's tail. And the ship makes its way in a spiraling pattern down into this array of brass-colored ziggurats, and there's this crisscrossing sort of canal network of magma with these gondolas which are moving back and forth with large Efreet pushing poles and things. And there's an array of all sorts of different creatures from across the multiverse which are walking around on the streets, including dragons walking next to Baelors having a conversation with retinues of slaves and warriors surrounding them, palanquins of opulent glory, all sorts of large pack beasts, spirits and things like invisible servants and stuff carrying loads of stuff. It's crazy. And there's relatively cool spots, and the ship alights gently into a cradle purpose-built for a ship of this kind, and you get out, and there's an officious-looking individual walking forward with a pair of cones on sticks under its arm. Pulls out a clipboard. Unscheduled.
Just late, really.
How late?
Really
How late?
late.
Like a month?
500 years.
Wait right there.
Also,
Rourt's going to go double check the name that was written on that container.
Right.
The primordial. Oh no,
Pasha.
sorry. Got to go ask.
Mark's
Duncan
gonna
to do
continue
it.
sleeping.
Yeah. What was the name of that?
Pasha Ubla.
That's it. Oobla, with an 8, an infinity symbol.
That's right. Just trying to find where I wrote that down. I'll write it down now.
Was it Pasha? Pasha? Oobla?
Yeah, Bashar.
Pasha Oobla. And it was 4 tons.
Yeah.
We also have a potentially wanted individual in our ship.
Are you reminding me, or are you telling the official?
The
Individual.
official.
Okay.
Who's also rapidly expiring.
Ah. So it's a medical emergency.
Yes.
Anything we need to worry about in regard to quarantine or hazardous goods, narcotics, dangerous animals? Have you filled out this form?
I will do so now.
Am I awake yet?
No.
Alright.
I am full of hallucinogenic.
Yeah,
person
that's
that
right.
ready.
All the contraband he stuffed in his pockets.
So you're declaring that you are full of contraband.
No, that was just.
That's fine.
That was-
you
no,
can,
I was
you can trade. You can obviously trade narcotics in the city of Brass. It's no problem.
I think opium is a popular, or some sort of fantasy equivalent to opium is popular.
They just want to know where to establish the correct level of bribery.
I believe I would declare it because
So, this individual who's sick on board your ship, what's the story?
I'm not sure, but I know that she did everything she could to avoid coming back here.
Maybe a wanted criminal.
Perhaps so.
Runaway scion from a great house, perhaps. Let's go and have a look.
Very well.
All right. So he makes his way back up on the ship, struts across the deck. Very nice, classic design. Makes his way down through the ship and goes at the state of the place.
He sees a bunch of sphinx bones and metal compartment things all lined up.
Yeah, the Sphinx bones are all messed the fuck up, right? They're just.
I would have cleaned all of that up.
Yeah, you've moved all of the stuff to the side, but you didn't dispose of anything. So
Well, we haven't been able to.
He got
Yeah.
shaken around a bit, and it all just like
yeah, it's scattered off again. Dustbins fallen over, spilled its contents.
Rort begins re-alphabetizing it.
Damn it, Steve.
Speaking of Steve, he's now deactivated, so he's no longer visible. And the official goes down inside the ship to where Ali has been kept.
Sees me right next to it under a bench.
Looks at the Warforged on the ground, says, "You sure you're not carrying any disease? That one doesn't look very good."
That was a second medical emergency.
Is that a puddle of urine?
I don't have that.
Mayhaps so.
Oh, no, it's just
so
oil.
it would be brain fluid. It would be brain fluid.
Brain oil.
All I know is it's not supposed to be where it is.
Yeah. He probably needs medical attention.
I would agree.
So, this is her?
Yes.
She unconscious with like lipstick everywhere.
She's upright in the cell, arms out at her side, radiating power, and unconscious. Just that's she's from a noble house of Efri. I don't know what house. I just know one when I see one. What's wrong with her?
She's been irradiated by a fuel cell explosion.
Oh. She should be alright. You mean from the stuff behind this crude setup you have for a helm here? He says, walking through the ship.
Yes. Assuming he's pointing at the cells, one of which is...
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you put that in there without running a full diagnostic beforehand. You've clearly overstimulated the contacts. The splines are not reticuled, and the polarity is completely reversed.
One of many side effects of having a reglycifrite.
You didn't decalcify the calcium ducts.
Must construct additional pylons.
We didn't do a lot of things. Because we didn't have a choice.
It was 500 years. I did my time. In Azkaban.
Well, okay. I suppose I'll call the authorities. I mean, the other authorities. I'm just import-export.
Right.
What's your name, anyway?
I am Duncan Rackstratton.
That's an interesting name. The Warforged. My name's Fuzna Gaff.
I try not to smile.
This is the platform that I take care of for the lord of this villa. Quite unusual lord, and I'm guessing your cargo is too.
I would also guess so.
Do you know what the cargo is?
No clue. I just know who it's for and where it's going.
Are you just a real good liar? Because you seem quite convincing that you didn't know what it was.
I, in fact, do not.
So if I said, "Could you go down and open it up?" you'd be fine with that.
I think I'd be unable to open it.
You can't even open it.
I read the sigil and decided not to even try.
It's got a sickle on it.
Yes.
And yes, I said Sigil incorrectly on purpose just to piss off the people who are anti-Planescape.
Raught's going to come down the staircase, dusting some bone dust off of him, and he's going to.
You got a Roomba which is like sucking onto one hand.
This is not the time for this. We, with Mark out of the picture at the moment due to his malfunction, we are looking to make this delivery, even though it is severely tarded. Duncan is a new recruit on the ship. His function is not fully included in this ship's passage at the moment. Perhaps you should speak to our navigator unit. And I guess I point Fuzna over towards Steve.
Mm-hmm. The helm?
Yep.
So he says, what am I looking at? A chair.
Steve, and I push the Steve button.
You get a... Have you lost video there, Bryce? You get a...
I'm dead! Or temporarily out of commission.
you get a please hold. And then a little round circle, like a ring, appears in the intervening space with like one end which is wider and one end which is like narrower, and it's turning around like this.
Like a loading screen.
Yeah.
Okay, normally this does not happen. Steve, and I push the button again.
Push it too many times, it just freezes.
The circle slows down somewhat. A little a square goes blink and appears over top of the loading circle, advertising something to do with anatomy and a suction device of some kind.
Suction device.exe has failed.
Pop-up has failed.
The navigator.
Order in.
Now, it seems we have lost command of our ship. In our 500-year hiatus, we have to improvise a lot of this. Rort is going to be like, oh no, we're going off script now. I don't know what to do. So he's going to have a little panic attack. And
Fuzna pops out a little case, snaps open the lid, takes out a brown cylinder, and lights it with the palm of his hand. And blows an aromatic plume of cigar smoke in the compartment. And says, so, you've been out of commission for 500 years. Where? What caused you to be... I mean, the ship looks fine, so what the hell was it?
I believe it was a hostile encounter on a plane known as Yggdrasil.
World Tree. And you got her with you. Huh.
Her appearance and Duncan's were one in the same.
So she was traveling... Oh, he's not a member of your crew.
Not originally, no. We happened upon this wreck, reactivated the ship, and thus brought the ship and the two original crew members out of stasis.
What are the odds of you meeting them?
Well, we had to. We ran out of crew very quickly.
Yeah. Hey, buddy. Would you say that you're just generally lucky?
I would not.
Oh.
Slight.
Are you sure? Because that sounded very lucky.
I'm not sure of anything.
I mean, would you say that you're kind of in favor with the gods of luck?
We don't have a personal working relationship.
So you're not against them?
No.
Because It just so happens that I've got some gambling debts that I need to take care of, and I think you're probably a good luck charm. I can make it worth your while.
I'm currently terrified to my core of your insinuation.
Yeah, okay. Well, so I'll make sure that somebody comes and claims her. And as for the cargo, well, I guess you got an audience with my lord.
Oh, and if we could get medical personnel post haste, that'd be...
Personnel. I know some guys who can do some work on that sort of person.
Sergio Canix.
Oh, you're talking about the Warforged?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, he's not looking too good. Are you right there, buddy?
I pop up and say, I need pancakes, in a really weird accent that you haven't heard from him, and then he goes back down.
Does he normally do that?
That is not his usual function.
Well, it can't be a disease, so I guess I'll go get somebody to have a look at you.
I've never heard of the magical item called a panned cake before.
Pan cake. It's a cake that you make in a pan. Surely that'd be a flat cake.
A griddle cake?
I don't know about cake. It's hard to get the balance of charcoal right.
The war is about to start!
Yeah. It's definitely overheated. Get me some of that jug of liquid over there.
I get him the jug of liquid, which is Is it the cup that was on the button before, or is it something else? Okay.
Oh yeah, good oil. Okay. Pours the oil into your gullet. Seemed to be a bit better. Recovered somewhat.
Can I open my eyes?
Yeah. You're currently cradled tenderly in the arms of an Efreet who's smoking a cigar. He says, "Hey, buddy.
Greetings.
You feeling
My
good?"
name is M4-RC, but my friends just call me Mark.
Nice to meet
And
you.
I hold out my hand.
He,
Just a giant hand clasps over it.
yeah, he grabs one finger and shakes it like this. My name's Fuzno Gaff, import agency. Do you have anything to declare?
Fuzz, no gaff. Do I have anything to declare? We need this ship evacuated of all radiation.
That's okay. Yeah. Do you have any like contraband or weapons?
We have a shipment that we must deliver. It is in the holding.
Yeah. What is it?
We have not opened it. We are unsure. We have been in this ship for 500 years.
So in all that time,
You just basically go over everything that everybody else has gone over.
well, okay, yeah, it's a very consistent story amongst all of you. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. But if it is true, then I suppose... Well, first you should probably meet with Pasha Ubla, whose property this is.
Can you tell us of this Pasha Ubla? What is his purpose here in the Brass City?
Oh. That I couldn't tell you, but I know that his palace is 6 keeps down this way.
Then we should go and take these things to him.
Avoid the surf.
The surf, you say?
Yeah,
Is there an ocean?
an ocean of liquid rock and fire. Yeah, the surf is not. It's we call it a surf, but it's really sequential plumes of fire from these big sheets of methane gas which move across the surface. I think it's slowly evaporating. I don't know the science.
I will don my oiled leather suit that
the-
has somebody else's name on it.
Uh-huh. The name on the suit is Venkman.
Fantastic.
I don my suit as well.
Venkman. He certainly was a great warforged when he was still functioning.
The other suit has got the name Stance on it.
Dance, though.
I do not recall him. He was very forgettable.
Okay. Will escort you into the complex. The first thing that strikes you is that if you want to leave the ship.
Yes, I will leave the ship with him.
Okay. So the first thing that occurs to you is that the inside of this palace is warm and moist. Humid. Chokingly humid.
It is a good thing that I no longer sweat.
Oh, God.
The next thing that you see is a group of about 3 turtles who have got halberds, big, serious pole arms, and they are looking at you very suspiciously.
I look back at them very suspiciously.
They look back at you.
What are they?
They're turtles. So
Turtle.
large tortoise people.
Turtle people.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a history check.
Sure.
Yeah, do turtles normally exist on the plane of fire? To my knowledge?
28.
Nice. Well, Duncan...
Is this is this guy associated with the Windukes?
Unsure. The turtles are from a world called... they're from a faraway land in a world far away.
I look at them extra curiously.
One of them goes... Shink! With a pole arm.
Salutations.
Chink. Hello?
Hello.
We come bearing a delivery.
In our ship.
Come forward. He gestures at the Fuzzner, who comes over and whispers something.
I hand him the manifest.
Oh, thank you. And Ignan, which they're speaking is more like...
I speak, or I understand primordial.
Right. So he says, they've got a manifest 500 years old from Pasha Upla, or to Pasha Upla, or a delivery to him. To him. What is it? They don't know. They've got no idea. How unusual. Shall we go and... No, we'll get them to inform him that they're 500 years later. I think that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. Right this way.
Excellent.
We'll need to get you in some suitable attire. Do you have any finery?
I look down at my naked body. I'm just like, I thought this was.
Aren't we all wearing like leather jumpsuits that look like
Oh yeah, that's right.
greaser
we're in the
outfits, like mechanics
Yeah.
outfits?
Yeah, they're like, that's unacceptable. You can't go wandering through.
Open my largest container. A bunch of shrooms will fall out, and also my fancy hat. Just pick it up, don it.
Right. They look at the shrooms like, ooh, what's that?
Duncan, I believe you
It's
have fungus growing in your interiors.
Drugs.
So, you make your way through the ornate, just incredible finery of a married who's spent many lifetimes acquiring wealth of stupendous value. So you're looking at pillars which are encrusted with gems to make the colouring for a seaside scene. And
He's impeccable.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's also gaudy and overdone. Like seeing that many rubies making a red of a strip of sunset across a beach, just sort of, they lose their value, they lose their uniqueness. They just look like coloured glass. Until you get close enough and notice the fine silver filigree settings that are in, and the fact the entire thing is carved out of a solid piece of silver. And then it's like, okay, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I dig it.
And you come to some large double doors with a knocker, which one of the turtles, which is standing guard, another one. Kind of look like a Gamorrean guard, this one. He's really overweight with a jutting lower jaw. Takes the knocker, lifts it up, twists the whole thing around, and hooks his arm through it and hauls the door open. And there is a waft of fragrant incense, a definite pong of seaweed and old fish, and a murky sort of tang of swamp water. And you are ushered into the chamber of Pasha Ubla, who is a Jabba-sized Marid, which basically looks like a large cross between a human and a toad torso that tapers down to a watery pool that seems to be constantly flowing in and out of him, as if he's a holographic image over top of pure water.
I will kneel down. I will kneel down and say, "Hail, Lord Jin. It is great to be making your acquaintance.
Who are you?
My name is Mark." I speed it up a little bit because I know he doesn't have time for my shit.
Why are you here?
We have an overdue delivery.
What is your delivery?
Boxes.
Of?
A
Yes.
4-ton sealed container with your name beautifully inscribed on it.
Oh, yes? 4 tons,
Indeed.
you say?
4
What's the-
tons.
Wait a minute. What's the name of your ship?
The generator.
Oh, that was its original name as well.
Wow.
We
You
are
guys-
a little late.
Late? I thought you were long dead. Wow.
Most of us.
Okay. Let's bring your ship inside.
Okay. I will
We
go out
must
to the
warn
ship.
you. The ship is mildly irritated at the moment.
Oh, that's no problem. No problem. Wait a minute. Who's that?
I remove my hat and bow.
No. He shoves you to the side. It's like gestures you to the side. No. That. And he points to the Janazi.
Is she floating somewhere?
Yeah, she's floating in behind you.
Duncan, apologize to me.
That is a companion and friend of Duncan's.
Roll my eyes.
How much do you want for it, Duncan?
Oh boy.
How about
I do not think.
5,000?
Done.
Do not do this, Duncan.
Good. He hands you a contract.
Do not do this, Duncan.
Read it over very carefully.
Essentially, it's transferring all ownership and hopes of rescue of your captive to service in perpetuity to the marriage in question, Pasha Ubla. Sorry, I've been reading Dristu. Pasha Ubla.
You might
Well,
not
the
get
issue
along.
with this is I'm not aware of whose toes I'm stepping on by doing this, but I'm most certainly aware that I would.
Oh, this is a daughter of a noble house. Yeah, so more trouble than she's worth for you, I think.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
I'm a lot harder for them to deal with, so I think I should be alright. I'm in a good position to negotiate right now. Let's get to the cargo on board that ship. I remember what it is now. 500
What is
years. It's been sitting there 500 years. But this is a good test for my theory, actually. Yeah, I never expected it to be 500 years. I thought you were only going to take a few weeks or months at most to get here. Let's go and have a look. You deserve to know.
So I'll go and I'll bring the ship in.
Oh, it's already been lowered down. The whole
okay.
chamber has corkscrew around, like a reverse of the War of the Worlds cylinder.
Right.
And then once it gets down to the bottom, they essentially scoot it across onto a platform, which pull it out, and then stack it amongst some others, much like a aircraft carrier, stacking up all of the jets below deck.
Anyway,
I think that's what they do. I know steamer. I know steamer's involved. Anyway, so he goes on board the ship and walks over to the first door of the chamber, opens it up, and then he presses his hand against the thing, and rivulets of water go through these minute little holes you barely even notice were there. There's a click, clack, clunk, and the thing goes toom, and then starts to swing open almost of its own accord, perfectly counterbalanced. And inside is a magically illuminated, warm, pristine environment which has been maintained this entire time by these cyclic power crystals, and a large egg, a 4-ton egg.
Oh, wow.
And says, so you have no idea you're carrying this?
Oh. Could I do like a nature or something check to try to figure out what kind of egg that is?
Sure. It's going to be difficult.
What history, nature, what?
So this would be history or knowledge religion.
So that's a total
24.
of 25. 25.
Okay, so this is, going by its size, this has got to be an epic creature. Epic
Right.
size.
Oh.
You know that the Afriti are very old. He said it was what? What did he say it was?
He didn't say what it was.
No, did he say what sort of reputation it had?
He said he wanted to test it for 500 years or something.
He wanted to test his theory.
Okay. What do you guys think it is?
Dragon egg.
Mm.
Like a freaking, I don't know, astral dragon or something. I don't know.
It's bigger than a dragon egg, so.
What color is the egg?
epic dragons?
Does the egg have a color? Does it texture?
Yep.
It could be like a.
Does it have a?
What's it called?
Is it smooth or is it rough or is it?
It's really rough, but there's a light shining from inside it, and we'll end the game on this following note, as Pasha Ubla then turns around and says, "You don't know what it is? This," and I can feel it still alive. I can feel the heartbeat. This is a Tarrasque egg.
My monocle just falls off.
And I'll catch you guys next week.